Complete sentences have a noun phrase, which contains a noun and all of its modifiers, and a verb phrase, which has a verb and all of its modifiers.
So some noun phrases could be Eduardo, the boy, the young lassie, a quaint Irish town with plenty of sheep, or the train that runs from Switzerland to Oswego under the water through a tunnel that looks like an abyss. All of those are just one noun phrase. So this long one, the train that runs from Switzerland, etc., all of that is modifying the train. So it goes with the word train. Some verb phrases would be something like jumps, is awesome, eats the sandwich, applies mascara by herself, doesn't know what to do, or can't stop thinking about the Oompa Loompa attack of last spring. Even something long like can't stop thinking about the Oompa Loompa attack of last spring, it's all modifying the can't stop thinking, so it goes together.
And some examples of our sentences after looking at our noun phrases and verb phrases could be the young lassie applies mascara by herself, the boy eats the sandwich, Eduardo is awesome, a quaint Irish town with plenty of sheep can't stop thinking about the Oompa Loompa attacks of last spring.
So together, noun phrases and verb phrases make complete sentences, but apart they're incomplete sentences, also known as fragments. So you want to avoid incomplete sentences.
Let's take a look at our first sentence. The boy giggled. Giggled would be the verb and is also the verb phrase. The boy would be our example of our noun phrase, with boy being the noun.
So the dog is fat. Dog is our noun, and so the dog would be the noun phrase. And then is fat. Is the verb, and fat goes along with the verb is, saying what it is. It's fat.
Our next sentence is SpongeBob is yellow. So is would be the verb, and is yellow would be the verb phrase, and SpongeBob would be the noun, and also in this case the noun phrase.
So a little more complicated, you could have a sentence like, someone in this room is about to get a big surprise. The noun phrase, well, let's start with the noun. Someone would be the noun, and so the noun phrase would be someone in this room. It all belongs to that word someone. And the verb phrase would be is about to get a big surprise. Again, all of that just describes what is going to happen.
So let's look at our next sentence. We collaborated to find my missing penguin. We would be our noun, and our noun phrase would be we. And the verb would be collaborated. So our verb phrase would be collaborated to find my missing penguin.
The next one, the pink panda with the bamboo cravings broke out of the zoo to terrorize the city of Philadelphia. The noun phrase all anchors off the word panda. The pink panda with the bamboo cravings is the noun phrase. And then the verb phrase all anchors off of broke out of the zoo to terrorize the city of Philadelphia. So now we're going to try a few sentences where you break sentences into noun phrase and verb phrase. So jot it down after I read the sentence. Bobby likes to play soccer after his homework. Pause the video, see if you can answer it on your own. So if you had Bobby as the noun phrase and likes to play soccer after his homework as the verb phrase, you were correct. Bobby's the noun, and likes is the verb that the verb phrase is anchored on.
Our next sentence, garbanzo beans on salad taste delicious. So click pause, and we're going to do the same thing that we did, and we're going to pick apart the noun phrase and the verb phrase from this sentence. In this sentence, garbanzo beans on salad would be our noun phrase, and our verb phrase would be taste delicious.
The next sentence you're going to break into parts is the greasy meatball with the green-looking meatballs rolled off the table. Click pause and try to answer that question. So the noun phrase would be the greasy spaghetti with the green-looking meatballs, all anchoring on the word spaghetti, and rolled off the table is the verb phrase.
Our next sentence, my favorite hobby is telling little kids that Santa isn't real. Click pause, and we're going to pick apart the sentence again. For this sentence, my favorite hobby would be our noun phrase, and is telling little kids that Santa isn't real is the example of our verb phrase.
So here's a challenge question. If you've got it so far, then you should be able to challenge yourself with the challenge question. So walking to the store, Jay noticed a flock of seagulls fighting over Nemo. The problem with this challenge question is that you would usually pick Jay. Jay noticed something, but walking to the store could describe Jay, he's the one that's walking, or it could describe when he noticed a flock of seagulls. For our purposes, you're going to let walking to the store describe J. So that's going to be part of the noun phrase, including the word J. Another challenge question would be Billy and Susan gave each other presents and walked home from the Christmas party together. If you break this up, there are actually 2 noun phrases and 2 verb phrases. See if you can pick out those noun phrases and verb phrases. Click pause. Okay, so Billy and Susan are both noun phrases. And then there are 2 verb phrases because there are 2 things that they're doing, and they're combined together with the word and. So they gave each other presents is the first verb phrase, and then walked home from the Christmas party together is the second verb phrase.
So now we have a few practice questions for you to jot down and do on your own. The first sentence is Tommy and his brother, Bill, ate 3 pizzas. Our second sentence is someone in Mrs. Ayers' class is going to have a bonanza. Number 3, we all should get hoagies after school today.
So on a separate piece of paper, write down those sentences and label them noun phrase and verb phrase. And then post your practice questions on Edmodo in the response box, not the reply box. You're going to have to click turn in, type it into the response box, and then turn in assignment. We'll go over those tomorrow. Good luck.
Hot dog!
Created using Powtoon.